Hello there. So today I'll be ranking some of the best broadcast sort of shows out there that nobody really knows about that are sort of on secret sites because they're sort of anti-mainstream and whatnot. So in the first one we got this is not like ranking best to worst. It's actually worst to best. So it's the other way around. Um, what we got here, a couple honorable mentions will be the old Eric Andre show. That was sort of good. The Tom Green show. Now that podcast he has. So those are pretty great. But at number three, I will have to put Sam Hyde. Not because it's bad, just because it doesn't fit my need. Yeah. But the Sam Hyde show was great. He was famous once, and he's not trying to get into this realm of being famous. He's a guy that just does a show, simple, and that's what's so great about it is he's not really trying to become famous and all the stuff like Gillis is trying to do, which is like that's something either Seinfeld called out because he said that about a comedian. I don't know who. I'll play the clip. And then Louis with the Patreon stuff too, calling him out. It's like, what the fuck? But he's got the sketch show, he's got the Netflix show, and the specials, and the Rogan. It's like, just do stand up. That's all you need to do. Because once you become famous, you stop being funny. We've seen that with everybody. Tim Dillon, his show used to be so outrageous. Mark Norman used to be edgier, all these shows were just so. Theo Vaughn was edgier. I mean, they're just not anymore. They're just doing a show, trying to not say anything crazy. And so the Sam Hyde show was great. He's just casual. He's got all these monitors, and he has people over, and they start talking about stuff in a real, honest way that's never been done before. And it really does feel like a hang. And this sort of radio, it's not a podcast. It's like more than that. It does reach into the sort of radio type show there. And it is really great, the things he talks about, and he's got the Big Brother thing as well. And, overall an underrated show that nobody really knows like some people do, but most of the time people don't even know because it's not on the mainstream platforms. Anyway, number three, Sam Hyde. He's great. Not saying that he sucks or anything. That'd be kind of a dick move. But, yeah, fucking show was great. At number two, I will have to put the Gavin McInnes show on Censor.tv. He was on a bunch of networks. He was on, freespeech.tv, CRTV before it came, The Blaze, Compound Media. He was a guy who got into a lot of trouble with the black shirt and the yellow piping, the whole thing with Proud Boys, and really a great speaker, just with words. He was like level of Louis, just able to, convey people's attention for a long period of time. And it was really, funny fucking guy. He's still funny. And he's got that Lauren Jones, the chick who was just on the Hodge Twins show. That I'll throw up a quick pic there. And she's not as edgy as she could be on that show. It kind of sucks that it's Gavin's network. And she is pretty dark and fucked up because there's a lot of dark humor missing. Used to have Tim Dillon when he was edgier, and used to have, Jesselnick when he was like the shit, like 10, 15 years ago. And I don't know. It's a great show. Fucking hilarious. The way he does it is like, people should be studying the shit. And it's a show that nobody knows about because you got to pay for it behind a wall, but it's pretty good. He does a great job. Great broadcaster for somebody who was never in radio, didn't go to school. He just started doing it, and he was fucking kept it up, for 10 years or more. And he's fucking good at that shit. We got to say the Gavin McInnes show, great. Just one of those shows under the radar, that nobody really sees. That is pretty fucking great if you want to know news, if you want to know politics, you want to know what the fuck's going on. Sam Hyde is more of a chill version of that. He says what's going on, but not in such an intense, boring way. Sorry, Gavin, but sometimes you can go on and on about the politics. It could be a little, but if you are more strong-brained and you like Fox News and that type of thing, it's also a great pick too. But yeah, one of those shows that is pretty fucking great. And the number one spot for really the top 3 or top shows that nobody knows about in the podcast world or broadcasting is the Red Bar Radio, Scars Club. Um, I'm not saying the show's great, because if he ever watches this, I'd look like a total bag. But what I'm saying is, he says what shouldn't be said. He really seems like a guy that would never, ever censor himself. Gavin does a little bit, because there was a show where his producer Ryan was just spewing shit on Pat Dixon's show, and then day after he's like, Ryan, what the fuck? Why would you say that? You're making me look bad, like a drill instructor and MC, And that's why Gavin isn't up there, because he does censor himself a little. He's not as edgy as he once was, in part, because that's what happens when you get older. It's just part of life, And Red Bar seems like it doesn't care. People that don't care are way funnier. Norm and Gilbert and I guess Hicks. Which is why I seem like I don't care, because those are the people who influence me. So it's sort of like he's talking about comedians and podcasts and all this stuff, but he doesn't. It just seems like, you ever watch Private Parts with Howard Stern? There was that moment where it's like, I need to say what I shouldn't say. That button that says, hey, don't say that. Say it. Say what you're telling yourself not to say. And that's why it's up there. Because he seems like a type of guy that would just be a politician and still, because he's such a shock jock. He really is the last shock jock. And that's why I think the Anthony Cumia show is lacking, is that shock jockery. Because now he's got his own show. There's no tension. Because when there was tension with O&A, it was a great show. Because when there's no tension, it's like, this sucks. Now there's like no tension, And everybody knows Italians have anger issues. When he went against Burr and Opie, again, that's tension that he needs for a show. He needs a radio war. I don't know. You guys to pick a war with somebody. Stuttering John, Opie, Kevin Brennan. It's always somebody. But Red Bar Radio, it's up there. You'll find takes that are just so fucking, I don't want to say original, but it's like, he's got this, just the studio is great, It's not just some crappy room. You didn't pay $5 for sunglasses. He paid like $70. He's got custom shirts and this and that and music and a drum kit and a really well done show. And people should really strive to have that sort of level. And it is pretty funny. And he's got the sound effects. Don't pretend like he didn't steal that. Take that from O&A. That is such an O&A thing as well, which is hilarious. He hates O&A but respects O&A. That's how it is. You respect what you hate and hate what you respect. Anyway, top 3 shows out there that basically nobody knows about, underrated, behind a paywall, whatever. Thought they were pretty good. Some should talk about them. Everybody hates Red Bar. If they hate him, he's doing something right. That's how it is. Stern, O&A, Red Bar, I don't know. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you later.